Yo, what up? What's poppin'? Back at it again with another video for y'all, and I was just wanting to chat with y'all because, yes, this is a story that's been going on for years, but this artist, he actually broke his silence on the situation, explaining that this CEO never had him over a balcony, like threatening him or anything. But there's plenty of stories, and I'm not gonna go deep into detailing the story, but I was just wondering, what if Suge Knight actually signed Vanilla Ice to Death Row Records while Vanilla Ice was on the come up? Yeah, Suge Knight fans, Vanilla Ice fans, let's chat. Let's have a discussion about this. Do y'all feel that it probably would have made more sense if Suge Knight signed Vanilla Ice to Death Row Records? Do y'all feel that it would have been cool if Suge Knight signed Vanilla Ice? Because that's the thing about it too. Vanilla Ice, he had a friendship with Tupac, and he had a friendship with Biggie Smalls too, with the Notorious B.I.G. Vanilla Ice was cool with both of them. You know what I mean? But the situation with Suge Knight, where they talk about saying that Suge Knight had Vanilla Ice, something about him like over a balcony threatening him for something. But yeah, because that's the thing. Like a situation where with Vanilla Ice with Death Row Records, like with some of the artists that were signed to Death Row back when Tupac was like still living. I think some of the songs were like showed funded by Vanilla Ice or whatever, but what if Suge Knight actually signed Vanilla Ice to Death Row Records? I'm gonna give you my answer like I do as always. If Suge Knight signed Vanilla Ice to Death Row Records, I feel that it would have been cool. I feel it would have been okay. You know, we would have got that Tupac and Vanilla Ice collab. If Vanilla Ice signed to Death Row Records, he wouldn't have had been a one-hit wonder. But at the same time, if Suge Knight signed Vanilla Ice, it probably maybe would have been a little corny. Because, like with Suge Knight with Death Row Records, Suge Knight, like the artists on Death Row, they kind of have like that G-Funk style, the West Coast G-Funk gangster rap. But yeah, see, Dr. Dre, he from Compton, but Dr. Dre wasn't really about that gangster life. See, Dr. Dre ended up leaving Death Row Records, and he ended up forming his own label, Aftermath Entertainment. But you see, with Death Row Records, like Dr. Dre, he was like the co-founder and like the co-owner, but Suge Knight was like the main man of Death Row. You know what I mean? And just like Dr. Dre had told Suge Knight, you can have it all. Like in the NWA biopic Straight Outta Compton, he told Suge Knight, you can have it all, because yeah, he was done with Death Row. He was tired of all of the drama and stuff that was going on with Death Row and with Suge Knight. So he ended up leaving and he formed his own label, Aftermath. And but Tupac and Snoop Dogg was still signed to Death Row, and like with Tupac and Snoop Dogg, like Tupac and Snoop Dogg, they ended up having a fallout because of the fact that Snoop Dogg actually shouted out the East Coast when he was talking about saying that Biggie and Puffy were like his homeboys. And yeah, I heard about Diddy getting sentenced to 4 years in prison. I mean, I might do another video about that, but I haven't really been paying very close attention to that. But if Suge Knight signed Vanilla Ice to Death Row, I feel it would have been cool, but at the same time, maybe it would have been a little corny. But I would say it would have been cool because it does like make sense. Like Suge Knight had met up with Vanilla Ice because it was a situation where there were like some writers on his hit record, the song Ice Ice Baby, which, yeah, Vanilla Ice, that was like the only hit record that he had. I mean, Vanilla Ice, as an artist, he's pretty much like a one hit wonder. You know what I mean? With the song Ice Ice Baby. And just like with House of Pain, as a white rap group, they was a one-hit wonder. The only song that they really had is the song Jump Around. Yeah, Jump Around, like House of Pain, they're a one-hit wonder. And that's the thing. One of the members from House of Pain, Everlast, had beef with Eminem. And I think Vanilla Ice and Eminem had a little bit of a beef too, but you see, Vanilla Ice even mentioned in an interview that he paved the way for white rappers like Eminem. But yeah, Suge Knight fans, Vanilla Ice fans, let's chat. Do y'all feel that it would have made more sense for Suge Knight to sign Vanilla Ice to death row? Let's have a discussion about this. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on my channel, comment, share, like the video. And again, my new song, my new track, Black Culture, it's on my YouTube channel and it's also on my SoundCloud. Y'all can follow me on SoundCloud at Wally G. Let's run it up. Let's blow it up. Love y'all.